At the time I'm recording this video, it is currently January 1st, aka New Year's Day, the first day of 2024. I just want to start off today's intro by wishing you guys a very happy new year. Hope you guys have pretty good resolutions planned, and I hope that they come true. But I don't want to get too far in depth about that. Let's just jump right into today's video. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tico on Blitz, back at it again with another video. And as you can see, I am on one of my other accounts because this account specifically has a tank that I currently do not own on my main account, and that is the Grille 15. This is the Tier 10 Tech Tree German tank destroyer, having some of the worst armor in the game that's pretty much vulnerable to any form of HEs from any tank whatsoever. If we could take a look at the stats of the tank, you can already see that the armor is one of the downsides of the tank. You can see that the front is only 30 millimeters thick. That is absolutely ugly. And like I mentioned before, any tank, doesn't even matter if it's tier 9s, tier 8s, any of those tanks that have an HE value that's above 40 millimeters, you're going to be able to cut through this tank and do the maximum amount of damage regardless. And to get that in kind of a perspective about what I'm talking about, the Grille 15, you can see that all around the tank is just going to be nothing but a penetration. And if I load HEs, for example, along with the Hori Type 3 that is up against it, you can see what I mean. The whole gun mantlet right here, along with the lower plate, are just going to be super vulnerable to HEs, which means that you're going to be able to do the maximum amount of damage within that vicinity instantly. The gun mantlet right here, or the upper portion of the turret, or the half turret, or quarter turret, if I should say, is upwards of 40 millimeters thick, while the lower plate right here is upwards of 46. The upper plate right here is upwards of 70, which means that it's about a 50-50% chance that you could be doing the maximum amount of HE damage, but that's only in cases where if you have a high amount of HE output. Side of the vehicle looks like this. You can see that the upper portion of the side of the hull is going to be a 100% chance to hit that, along with the side of the turret as well. And then, of course, you have the back. You have the two cheeks right here that are only 20. Back of the turret is only nothing. And then you have the lower plate right here that's upwards of 21. It's just pretty ugly in general. However, there are still pretty good upsides that come to the Grille 15's playstyle. We could see right here that the damage per minute is upwards of 3,497 with a 9.95 second reload time, which is extremely good, especially for a tank destroyer with its damage output having an average HP damage of, with its standard ammo, 580, with its premium, 490, and its HEs of 880. Pen-wise is also pretty decent as well. On the AP, you have upwards of 300 millimeters of standard penetration. With the premium, you have upwards of 360 pen, and high explosive, you have upwards of 75 pen. Another great thing about this tank is it's got one of the best accuracy and dispersion times in the game, with a combined 3.5 second aiming time with 0.244 dispersion at 100 meters. That is extremely good. Also beneficial to the fact that it has one of the fastest shell velocities in the game. Maneuverability wise, it is also pretty solid, having a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour and a reverse of 15, with a power to weight ratio of 20.4 and a hull turn rate of 38.20. There are also a couple of things that also benefit the Grille's playstyle, and that is the fact that you have a mechanic specifically called reticle calibration. Although that you have one of the best aiming times in the game, this mechanic right here is to make it 10 times faster, making your aiming reticle seem extremely small, and that way you are guaranteed to hit any shots wherever you're aiming at. There is also a mechanic that can also reduce the amount of HE damage that you decide to take, and that is going to be this one right here called Spall Liner. Minus 20% to damage from high explosive shells. And that means any tank that is going to be shooting HEs at you, trying to deal the maximum amount of damage to you, the damage is cut down to a point where it won't be able to do the maximum amount of damage. It'll still be a pretty high damage output, but not something that you would expect from an HE output trying to deal the maximum amount of damage to you. And here we are in our first game here on Hellas. Let's see what they got in terms of tank destroyers, looks like they just have a Foch 155 on their team. And it looks like the amount of mediums that they would have seems to outdo us. So I am going to head over towards this side with my mediums to try to protect them upon the best of my ability. So as we are making our way over this way, you can see the solid maneuverability of this tank already reaching its top speed in a matter of a couple seconds. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to sit right here where the bush is and try to peck off as many tanks as possible. Well, not by the bush. I'm just going to go up on the hill right over here. See if I can peck some tanks off. There is the BC right over here who is just coming upwards. And oh, he is in our peripheral point of view, which is good. So I want to get a click slap into him for 564. That is pretty ideal. The 62A is also coming in. BC gets cleared, which is good. So we're just going to put on my fast reload and see if we can get a nice shot into him for 664. And look at the fast reload time on this tank. I am able to finish this guy off without a hassle. And there we go. The 62A gets cleared. Looks like the majority of their mediums are pretty much dead at this point, while the Sheridan is trying to run away. So that means we can start making our way over towards this side and see if we can get a couple shots into the heavies over here. If overall depends on if we can see them. So we're just going to aim on in. Don't really see anything at the moment. The Foch is right there. Oh, and here comes the E100. I think I'm probably going to get a slap into him. Let's put on my reticle calibration so I guarantee to hit the shot. Nice shot for 539 into the side of his tank. We're just going to sit here and then hope for the best. There is the Foch. We see him right over here trying to cross. Looks like he's going to be making his way downwards. I'm not able to get a shot into him, but that's okay. Let's see what else decides that want to poke. There is the IS-7 right over there. We're able to see him, but we're not able to pen him. E100 is also going to poke. We're going to get a nice shot for 634 into the side of his tank. The Moss ends up spotting us, and I don't really know how he hit that shot. I was right behind the pole, so that means I'm just going to bail out and then continue onwards and see if I can get some more shots into these guys. There is the Sheridan right off to the side right there. We're going to try to see if we can get a nice shot into him for 619. Continue on moving forward. And now the Moss is going to try to push up on my mediums, but I want to prevent him from continuing to do so. So I'm just going to make my way up here. Sheridan is going to get caught with me. I don't care about taking the shot, as we're going to get a nice shot for 487 into the side of his tank. And now my mediums are going to rush him. So that's pretty good. Moss is gonna want to back up so he doesn't get a clear into me. That's good that he doesn't end up clearing me, but he is gonna try to tunnel me. I want to see if I can get a quick shot into him before I get finished off. So we're gonna get a nice shot for 525 into his vehicle. Continue to back on up. We do get clear, but that's okay. We're still gonna win this game regardless. The 60 TP is just gonna continue to go over here. That was actually my fault. I knew I shouldn't have decided to poke that, but that's okay. We were still able to do an approximate amount of 4,300 damage and then kill a couple in the process as well. So yep, we were able to do 47 damage. We destroyed one tank, pulled out a second class, and we were able to do second on the team. That was actually a pretty solid battle. Let's do another one and see how she performs till then. And here we are in our second game here on Molendyke. Let's see what they got up against us in terms of tank destroyers. They have a 1A3, a 268 version 4, and a T30. So I want to try to be as careful as possible because all three of those tanks carry very deadly alphas. Assuming that if they were to HE my tank, that it would still come out a pretty decent roll. But like I said before, we are running Spoliner, so that means that the damage that we take will be reduced. So that's going to be pretty decent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my way over towards this side of the map. I want to try to see if I can put myself in a good position in order to spot out the majority of their enemies. So I'm just going to continue on moving this way. If I were a heavy tank on this map, I would like to poke right behind that ridge line right here. But since I'm in a tank destroyer, I just want to be as careful as possible because I don't want a lot of my hit points to be reduced down to literally smithereens. So I'm just going to sit back right here, just wait for the majority of their tanks to start showing up, which is good. We could already see the 268 version 4, and then an M103 decides to want to pass. Looks like he's going to poke out here in just a second. Oh, and then we do have an E50M that's going to roll on in as well. Oh, He does hit the wall, but unfortunately, I don't know why that shell decided it wanted to just hit the side of the building like nothing. We do have the M103 over here, but I want to see if I can try to get a shell into the E50M. There we go. That's a nice shot for 617 into the side of his tank. Let's reload once again. The 54E1 did get slapped for a pretty good solid chunk. So we're just going to aim on him once again. There is that T30 right in the back. We do get a bounce on that M103. Unfortunately, the shell did not land where I expected it would go. So what we're going to do is we're going to try our best to move onward. That T30 is deciding to pull up on us. We're going to get a nice shot into him for 473. Good thing we moved out of the way before he could get that shell out. So what we want to do is we want to try to hold off these tanks to the best of our ability. I want to see if I can get another shot into one of these guys. There is the M103 right there. We're able to get a shell into him for 480. And now we're going to reload once again. He's going to try to push up on us. We're going to activate our reticle calibration. So, oh, we already used it, it looks like. So we're going to get another shot into him for 602. Our T54E1 gets cleared, but that doesn't make much of a difference as we are going to reload once again and get another nice shot into the T30. So now I'm in kind of a situation because I have to hold off 2 tanks. So what I want to do is I want to try to finish off that M103. He is going to come and push up on us. But we do get the clear in him, which is good. The T30 is over towards the right side. He does get bonked once. We're going to reload once again and see if we can get a clear on him. He's not focusing in on me, and we are able to get the clear on him. Nice. So we do have that E75 who's also coming in up on us as I want to poke through the wall right here, see what he's looking at. It looks like that he is looking right at me, which is not ideal. We have the Yo that's going to come and push up on him, as he does decide that he wants to come and push up on me too. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit. Okay. Oh, so there's that nice shot into him. We're going to get a nice shot into the side of his turret for 518. Put on my accelerated reload and see if I can get a clear into this guy before he finishes off my Yo, which we are able to, and come out with the clear. That was a much better game to demonstrate some of the capabilities of the Grille 15. Although you don't have armor, you still have a very deadly gun that's able to put in a pretty solid damage output in a matter of only 10 seconds. We were able to pull out a first class with that one, deal almost 4,000 damage. We were just shy of that limit, and put out a pretty solid performance, making us do the top damage. Although you don't have armor, like I said before, you still have very high damage per minute factors and a very solid reload time for a tank destroyer in order to dump out a pretty solid chunk of damage into your opponents. This tank is mainly used to just sit back and peck off some of the tanks that are coming across on certain maps, but you could use it to the best of your advantage to try to peck them off one by one to where they are going to try to spot at the majority of your teammates. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did end up enjoying today's video. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss out on any new videos, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.